Oh hey, didn't see you there. Today we're looking at the Velotric Discover 1 Urban High Step e-bike. You guys may remember that I recently reviewed the Velotric Discover 1 e-bike, which is a little different than this. This is a little bit bigger of a frame, has an extra support member on top, but generally it's a very similar bike. This retails for about $1,300 or so currently as it sits. So let's just get this thing out of the box and get to it. Right off the bat, I can definitely tell it's pretty long. Styrofoam. That's nice. Oh, yeah, boy. Got a toolkit down here, it says. Now is where the fun starts. All right, so here it is. This is the Velotric Discover 1 High Step in gray. Very cool looking bike. It almost looks blue, but that's actually a gray. So this is a lot like the other Velotric Discover 1 I reviewed previously. But if you guys saw that one, you remember this bar was not here. So it's more of a step through design. This is a high step design. So it's basically the same frame, but extra support cross member there. Makes the bike a little bit taller, that kind of thing. And let's go through the software really quick. Nothing super crazy. The screen is pretty standard. Has your mile per hour, battery life, odometer, and your pedal assist, and it has a headlight icon to let you know your headlights are on or off. So if I turn it off, you guys can see how that works. Cool. Headlight, you guys can see, is actually really nice. So that's good. It does have adjustable front suspension, kind of your standard controls. You have your thumb throttle right there. You have a bell and your other power options right there. But yeah, that's pretty much it. So let's get this thing on a full charge really quick. Then we'll get out to the street and do some testing on it finally. Top speed, full range, and just overall how it rides. So let's get this thing on a full charge and we'll come back to it. These tires say to inflate to 35 to 65 PSI. So I'm gonna set them right at 55 PSI with my little portable tire inflator. All right, riding the Velotric High Step e-bike. This is a Velotric Discover 1 High Step. You guys remember I actually had reviewed the Discover 1 step-through design e-bike in the past, which was a great bike. It feels very similar for sure, but it definitely handles, in my opinion, more like a sport type focused bike. The other one was definitely a cruiser. This one you can tell is maybe a little bit more nimble, maybe a little bit more agile from what I remember. So far, ride quality is good. It's about like, it feels like a bicycle, but it's very smooth. Like you don't feel a whole lot of the bumps, but it feels very agile, very light, which in my opinion is a good thing. I mean, there's a lot of e-bikes out there that just don't feel like a bicycle really. Just because they're heavy and they're designed poorly, but this feels like you could just toss it around like a normal bicycle, but it's a full-on e-bike. And it looks like we're topped out and limited to about 20 miles per hour, just over that is what it's reading. So be that as it may, 20 miles per hour is fine. And because you are limited, you are getting slightly higher range. So you'll get more miles per charge if you're not maxing it all the way out. But yeah, so far acceleration feels good, ride quality feels good, but it does feel light and nimble at the same time. It's not really a cruiser bike, I would say, although I could see myself cruising on this as well. It's not like it's uncomfortable. It just feels a lot lighter than your normal e-bike. Maybe it's the stance, I'm not sure, but it feels good. And yeah, overall, I mean, it's a good looking bike too, especially this gray. I really like the gray e-bikes. I don't know, they give a very modern vibe to them. It makes a statement, but like not a bad statement. Some e-bikes are colored so awfully that it just makes a bad statement. But this one's like, you know, I'm here, but I'm not super ultra flashy. It doesn't make half the people that see it hate it, half the people that see it like it. It's kind of just like everybody can agree this is a good looking e-bike. But yeah, very smooth power delivery, very quiet. Some e-bikes are loud, this one isn't. You can hear it, but it's not, you can barely hear it. You feel some of the road vibration, road bumps, but that's because this isn't a fat tire e-bike. This again is a nimble type bike, and so you can feel some of the bumps on the road. It's not uncomfortable, but you can feel the road. Acceleration is good. It has some torque right when you push the throttle. Better than a lot of e-bikes. I wouldn't say it's the best I've ever felt or the fastest acceleration I've ever felt, but it's good. Yeah, definitely one of the most nimble e-bikes I've reviewed. You know, I'm 6'3", 205 pounds of pure muscle, obviously, so I would prefer something a little bit more beefy, but this is not a bad feel. If I was going for just wanting a bicycle or a very similar feel to it, then I'd definitely hop on this bike for sure. Anyway, let's go on a full range test and see how many miles we get on this thing. I'll bring you guys back when I'm done.
All right, well, I just got back from the full range test. We got a whopping, actually very, very impressive 30.1 mile on one full charge. That is really, really not bad at all. Considering right now on their website, this is going for $1,199, so $1,200. That is a steal of a deal for the specs you're getting on this thing. That is really not bad at all. 30-mile range. I know it only tops out at 20, which I have mixed feelings about. I prefer to go faster for shorter range, but I also don't commute on these full time, so I'd rather really, if I was commuting, have a longer range. So anyway, there you have it. That's the full range. I'm just gonna take up and down the street and show you guys how it rides and looks. So let's do it. Off-road's like a champ. Brake test. Not bad. Didn't leave. It left a little trail. I can't really. I can't. This is like.
Oh, I think I see it. I think it's like
probably 10 feet back.
Yeah, I see
about,
it.
Yeah, about average. About average for e-bikes, but that'll stop you real quick. Yeah, so anyway, this is the Velotric Discover 1 high step model. This one is a bigger frame. You guys remember I reviewed the Discover 1 step through model a little while back. This is the high step version, so it's made, you know, bigger frame for larger riders and whatnot. So for the price, I just checked the price, and for the price, this is a very impressive bike. You know, for $1,200, I don't know if you could get better than that. Very comfortable riding position. The rubber, everything feels nicer than just cheap e-bikes, you know? It feels like it should be, you know, about $1,500 or a little bit more than that, just as it feels. I'm not a huge fan of the no rear suspension. This does a good job of minimizing vibrations with the wheels and, you know, the larger wheels and everything, but you just feel it, you know? If you don't have rear suspension, when you hit like really big bumps and you're going over like, you know, changes in the road and, you know, curbs and whatnot, you definitely feel it. But overall, very good ride quality, really fun to ride, really torquey, incredible range, really good range for the price. I did see it was on sale though. So I think it said it was reduced to $1,200 from like $1,800 or something. So that would make a little bit more sense, you know? So maybe it's just a sale going on right now for $1,200, but still, there are coupon codes and stuff that you guys can find if you're interested in the bike. I think it's a really good bike, and Velotric has been around for a little bit now, and so you can pretty much count on them, you know, having customer support in the long run. Hopefully they'll, you know, the brand will continue on. I think it will. It's one of those brands who hasn't gone away yet. I do reviews for a lot of different bikes, and some of the, you know, Chinese e-bikes that are being sold right now, the company disappears a couple months later and you can't get any parts for it. But I think Velotric is going to be one of those brands that sticks. So yeah, so anyway, that is the Velotric Discover 1 high step. There's a link in the description if you guys want to check it out more. Really good bike. Thanks for sending this over to me to test out, put through its paces. That's pretty much it. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll catch you in the next video.